guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you some really simple and sweet Dollar Tree Valentine's Day DIYs. These ones are really fun to make. I love them and I really hope that you guys are going to love these too. But before we get started, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing down below and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. This first DIY is so easy but really cute. So I'm going to get started with this welcome heart sign from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to be pulling out that ribbon from the back. It's just attached by some staples. They come out really easily. But I did want to mention, if you cannot find this exact sign, do not worry. You can even just cut out some hearts from cardboard or any sturdy material. As long as they are this size, it will definitely work for this DIY. And now I'm going to do my best to try and remove that paper that is on the top of the hearts. The burlap material came off really easily. The paper, not so much. Some of the hearts it did, but some of them it just got stuck like this. So if this happens to you, do not worry. It is okay. It's not going to really matter in the end. And I also picked up some yarn from the Dollar Tree. So you're going to want to go with the thickest yarn you can find because it's definitely going to make this DIY a lot easier. This was the thickest yarn that they had and I really love the color, so it was definitely a win-win. So now you just want to get your yarn and start to wrap it around your heart. So eventually it's just going to cover all of the cardboard material and you're just going to see the yarn heart. So to get a really pretty effect, you kind of just want to vary the way that you're wrapping it around the heart. So just switch up your direction every few turns and it's going to give you a really pretty result. So here's the heart when it was all done. And now I'm just going to trim off that extra yarn and just take that piece and carefully tuck it under some of the other strands. And then I'm just going to cut off that extra tail. And that is it. This is my wrapped yarn heart and I think it turned out really cute. It almost has a little bit of a plush effect to it and it's just really adorable. After my first one, I had an idea and I definitely do suggest this. I decided to just spray paint my hearts with this white spray paint. Any white spray paint will do. And basically it's just going to help it camouflage a lot better into that yarn, especially the white yarn. And if you have some of that paper stuck on the heart still, it's just going to help that blend a lot better. So here is the heart after I spray painted it. Nothing fancy, it's just going to help it really blend in a lot better. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that same technique. Just going to hold that yarn in the center of the heart and then start to wrap it around, varying up my directions every few wraps until all of that base heart is covered up and you're left with a completely covered yarn heart. This DIY is super simple, but it does take up a little bit of time while you're wrapping the heart, so I just put on a movie just to make the whole process a lot more enjoyable. Each ball of yarn from the Dollar Tree had enough to completely wrap 3 hearts. So you'll see here I have 3 pink and 3 white. But I did have a little bit left over of each color, not enough to cover one whole heart, but combined they did cover the 7th heart and it gave it this really cool effect that I think turned out really pretty. So this is another option if you want to combine your yarn colors. These hearts are very versatile, so you can just display them in a bowl like this. I think they look so adorable. Or you could just kind of scatter them around for decor. Or you can even just string these on a yarn strand to create a heart banner. For this next DIY, I'm going to be making over this XOXO sign from the Dollar Tree. So you guys might remember that I did actually transform one of these in a previous video, but I really love this sign and I had another really fun idea for it. So to get started, I did just cut the string in the back because this sign does stand up on its own and that's how I'm going to be using it today. So to start off, I am going to be spray painting the top portion with one coat of this ultra matte white spray paint. You can also just hand paint it, but you guys know that I do love to spray paint whenever I can. And now, while that's drying, I'm going to get started on my stickers. So I picked up these stickers at the Dollar Tree, and I really loved the lip stickers in the center there. They actually do sell these already painted if you can find them. My Dollar Tree was sold out, so I did just get the natural ones, and I'm going to be painting them right now. I actually decided just to spray paint them just to make it really easy. So to do that, I'm just going to be transferring all 5 of those lip stickers onto the outer package of the stickers. That way I can just spray paint them really easily. So here is them when they were all painted. So here is my XOXO sign with that matte white spray paint. And then all 5 of my lip stickers, I just did one quick coat of red spray paint and it worked out really well. So you'll see on the back there is that glue dot sticker. and I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. The reason is because you can kind of see it peeking through the center of the lips, and I just think it kind of ruins the effect a little bit, so it peels off really easily. So now I'm just gonna kind of decide where I want to place them. So I thought it would be kind of cute just to have red lips all over this XOXO sign, like somebody just planted a whole bunch of kisses on it. So I'm just kind of getting them mapped out where I want them, and then once I was happy with the placement, I just secured them on with some hot glue. This whole DIY came together so quickly, and I already had the spray paint on hand, so for $2 I think that this sign looks so good. It feels like something you would pick up in a Home Goods, and it would definitely cost a lot more than $2 if you found it in one of those stores. I think that this one is just really cute, and you could of course switch up the colors to suit your color palette. This next DIY, I'm going to be starting with this wood heart sign from the Dollar Tree. So to get started, I'm just going to go ahead and remove that string. I'm not going to need it because I'm actually going to be transforming this sign into a self-standing decoration. So now I just want to cover up those holes. So to do that, I'm just going to be using some of the lightweight spackling from the Dollar Tree. Once I let it dry completely, I just took a sanding block and just made sure to sand that surface completely flat. Now I'm going to get started on painting my heart. So I'm going to be using my favorite chalk paint. This is the one that I use all the time. I'll leave it linked down below. It's just from Amazon, but it really is my favorite. And I'm just going to be painting the middle portion and the bottom of the heart in a solid coat of the white paint. Then I'm going to take that same white paint, but I am going to be mixing in a little bit of this dark pink color just to create a really pretty light shade of pink, and I'm going to use that for the other two portions of the heart. I did just want to make sure though to leave those supports in the back the natural color. I just really liked the look of it peeking through, and it added a little bit of contrast. Let it dry completely, and now the final step is just to add some supports, that way it can stand up all on its own. So to do that, I'm just going to be using some of the tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. I'm going to need 4 in total. So I'm basically just going to have the heart kind of leaning on its side, but it needs a little bit of substance in the back just to hold it up. So I'm going to be gluing 2 of those tumbling tower blocks together, and then I'm just going to be gluing them to the heart. When you're gluing them in place, it does help just to kind of put the heart on a little bit of a diagonal. If you kind of just lean it back just a tiny bit while you're gluing those supports in place, it does help it stand up a lot better. So now I'm just going to repeat those same steps for my other support on the back of the heart. Now this heart will be able to stand up all on its own wherever you place it. And here is the final result. I love this one. This is one of my favorite color combinations. I really love pink and white together. I think it's just so pretty. But again, if this is not your favorite color pattern, you can always just switch this up and just kind of customize it to however you like. You guys might remember this gift bag from my Dollar Tree Valentine's Day haul. I just fell in love with the print the second I saw it. So I kind of just wanted to preserve that and just turn it into an art print. So I picked up this 8x10 gold frame from the Dollar Tree, and it actually fits pretty well. You do have to do a little bit of trimming just to get the size just right, but it is super quick. So I'm just going to go ahead, take everything out except the glass, and I just kind of held my bag just to see about how much I would need to trim off of it. It really wasn't much, so I just took a little bit off the sides and the top, and then it was ready to be framed. So now I'm just going to put it right back in there, and then just be sure to put everything back into that frame. That way it has a nice snug fit, and just secure those tabs in the back, and that is it. This is such a quick one, but it is a really great hack to kind of just getting some really pretty art for just a few dollars. For this next DIY, I picked up these 4 wood signs from the Dollar Tree. So I have 2 of the campers and then 2 of the Valentine's Day pickup trucks. I thought that they were just so fun, and I had a really cute idea for them. So to get started, I did take that twine out of it, and I'm just going to go ahead and fill in those holes just like before with that lightweight spackling. So once I filled in all the holes, I let them dry completely, and then I just took my sanding block and just made sure to sand them down smooth. Now I'm going to get started on painting them. So I'm going to be using those same colors that you guys saw earlier in the video. So that same exact white chalk paint and that same dark pink color. I will be mixing the 2 paints just to kind of get some different shades of the pink color. So here I've mixed them just to make this nice light pink color, and you can see on the camper that it has stripes. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in my light pink stripes first. And I'm not being too careful just because I know that I had to go in with my white also at the end, and I figured I can kind of just clean it up then. So it does look a little bit messy right now, but in the end it all turned out okay. For the door, I did go with this dark gray color, but I wasn't loving the look of it, so I did add in some of that white chalk paint just to lighten it up a bit. And for the wheels, I'm going to be using this black chalkboard paint that I picked up in the Crafter's Square at the Dollar Tree. Once that was dry, I did go in with that white chalk paint and start to fill in those other areas on my camper that I left blank earlier. Then for the hearts and the banner that's on the truck, I did go ahead and just use that dark pink. I did use that same dark pink color for the base of my pickup truck, and then I just went in with some lighter pinks, whites, and grays to kind of fill in some of those details. Here is how everything turned out when I was finished painting and I let it dry. And now I'm just going to be using some of those tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to be using these to kind of create some supports in between the two different trucks. That way it will be able to stand up all on its own and kind of have a 3D effect. So to make those supports, I just glued 2 of the tumbling tower blocks together, and then I'm going to be hot gluing it in the center of the truck. You could always just paint these as well to kind of match your truck. That way it kind of blends in better, but you won't really notice it when you're looking at it from the front. Since the camper is a little bit bigger, I will be using 2 sets of supports for this one just to make sure it's nice and sturdy. And I did just want to mention that when you put the hot glue on the supports and then put your second camper or truck on top, you want to stand it up just to make sure that all the tires are touching the ground and make sure it is level before that hot glue permanently dries. And now you could even just glue these 2 together if you wanted the truck to be pulling the camper. I ended up just kind of staging them right next to each other when I put them on display, and they matched up perfectly. And I think this one is so cute. It's definitely a really unique decoration. I haven't really seen anything like this before, and I think it is just really sweet looking. And those are all the DIYs that I have for you guys today. I really hope that you enjoyed these. If you plan on recreating any of them, please let me know in the comments down below. I absolutely love to hear from you guys. It makes me so happy. And if you are new here and not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, you can just click on my picture right here. And be sure to check out this video for some more crafting fun.